In the end of the tutorial, you will be able to implement enemies which has a melee weapon, and they'll start to attack the player whenever they are nearby, and when they are more far from the player, then they'll just try to move to the player again and attack him. And the player is also losing life. We start by adjusting the player scene, and we also need to add a health bar. The health bar we just copy and paste from the enemy, just like copy and paste on the scene, so it's above the head and we don't have to do adjustment on this one. The next thing what we're gonna do is adjusting the player script. So we go up here to script and we need to add 2 variables and 3 functions. First of all, we need to add the texture progress bar at the pass. So left click here, CTRL, and right drop it here. And the next one will be a variable which we just call on export variable life points, and this is an int, and we just say 30 for beginning, and we add the functions. This is func ready, inbuilt ready function, and here we just say set health. This set health we just do that we just set the health whenever the game starts to the full life points, like 30. So the texture progress bar will also be updated. So what we're gonna do is set health leads to void, and we need to say texture progress bar dot max value and texture progress bar dot value, each of them equals life points, and also here equals life points. So at the beginning of the game we just set the texture progress bar max value and also the value to the life point amount, and that was it for this function. And the last function we need to add is an update function which will give the player the opportunity to lose life or to gain life, but today we just do the lose life function. So we do func update health void, and here we say life points. So here we say func update health, and here we need a flag which we send through. This will be the value we increase or decrease the life. So we just say amount is an int. This leads to void, and then we say life points plus equals amount, which we just got sent over from here, and then we just update the texture progress bar dot value equals life points. So what we're gonna do now is we decrease or increase the life points by that what we sent over, and then we update the texture progress bar value by this life points. We need to add the line in player.gd class name player. The next thing what we want to do is creating the weapon. For this one we will take a sprite 2D like other node sprite 2D. And here we just set an area 2D, and the area 2D we got a collision polygon 2D, and then we go to the scene here on 2D, we zoom in and we just searching for our texture. I have a sword, it's this one. We just drag and drop it on the sprite 2D, and then it will automatically change the texture. Then we change the collision polygon, which we do by clicking on it. Click here on this polygon, and then we can draw here in the scene. I make it around about here. This is later to detect the player. And the sprite 2D we need to set an offset to 8 and -8. We just adjust the positioning of this one to here. And this has the effect that when the sword is turning around, then it will just rotate on this point. And this is important for our animation when the enemy is attacking the player. And here we just call this one enemy weapon, and we save the scene as enemy weapon .tscn. And we also need to add a script to this weapon. This we do now. Enemy weapon.gd. We click directly here on this one, and there's a plus sign and on the sprite, and then we just add the script. Here we just need to add 3 functions, and this is the ready function to load data. In this case we just connect signals, then we say func connect signals, which we just create now, leads to void. The only thing what we want to do is whenever the area is detecting a body, in this case we just want to detect the player. So what we gonna do now is area 2D with the person sign. You will see that this won't work yet because we didn't make this area 2D unique yet. This we do by right clicking the area 2D and say access as unique name. That means that in this scene tree, this area 2D name is unique. You can't add another. I mean, you can add as much nodes as you want now. So node. You can also reassign this one to here, and this area 2D still will be called. You don't need to have to write the whole path. It's enough to just write the area 2D name. I just make everything back now as I just wanted to explain the unique thing. So we need to connect the body entered with the function damage, for example, and the function damage we just write now. Here we have as body entered will always send over as a flag a body right here. This body we also need to write it here. Body node 2D leads to void. First of all, we check if this body which enters this area is a player. So we say if body is player, and then we say body dot update health, as we already say in the player scene that we have a function which is update health, and we want that whenever the enemy is hitting the player, it will make a damage of 1 health point. That was it for this script. We go over to change things in the enemy scene. We just go right to the enemy scene, right here, enemy, animation player. So we add the weapon now to the enemy scene, just like this one. Whenever the player is nearby, the sword will just turning in circles the whole time, and whenever it hits the player, it will damage the player. So we just go on animation, new, and we call it attack. We need the same tracks like we have in idle. So what we're gonna do is copy tracks from idle, frame and position, copy. And we go over to attack and we just say edit, paste tracks. So right now it looks exactly the same like idle. We change the length to 4 milliseconds and we need to add another track. And this is the property track. We go right to the enemy weapon. Okay. And here we just need to search for rotation. And here we need to add 5 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put each on 1 millisecond, just like this. And here we just say every time it's turning 90 degrees. So here we say value is 90. Here we say value is 180. And here we say value is 270. And then the last one is we say 360. And when we set it to animation looping right here, we have a turning sword. In walk left, we want that the sword will be start to be turned here. So whenever we see that the enemy is walking left or right, it will show to the right direction. So the thing what we need to do is we go to attack, edit, copy track, and we say enemy rotation, copy, walk left, edit, paste tracks, and then we just delete the keys and we just say value is minus 90. So it just showed to the other direction. And we just added copy track again, enemy weapon rotation, and we go to walk right. As here we want it shows directly to the other side, so paste tracks and we just say null. So it just shows to this direction. And in idle we need to also edit paste track and also null. So we have all the animations now. What we need to adjust now is the enemy script, which will make the enemy actually attack the player. We need to add 2 variables. The first variable is a variable current state. We work with a state machine, with a very simple state machine, enemy state, and we writing an enum. Enum is like a check for what states something could have. You writing enums not like variables, you write them a bit differently. Right, enum enemy state, and then you use this brackets, and here we need move, and we also need attack. So we have these two states which enemy will change whenever he is attacking or moving. And the point where we change the state is here. When the distance to the player is higher than 16, current state equals enemy state dot, and then you already see move. And the same we need to say in else, but here we say attack. So when the distance is smaller than 16, then the enemy will attack, and that the animation will also play at the right point. We have to update the update animation function, and this we do by adding an if current state equals enemy state dot move. There we put all that what we had before. This handles the movement, and then also we say elif current state equals enemy state dot attack, and here we just say AnimationPlayer dot play attack. So, and when we did everything alright, then the enemy should actually attack the player when the enemy is nearby. So let's check. And we just run to our enemy, and when the enemy is nearby, he will attack us, and the player is also losing life. And when we run away and he's far away, he'll not attack, he'll just stop attacking and start moving. If you like this tutorial, you can leave a like, it will help me a lot. And if you have any further questions to this tutorial, just let me know in the comments. And also, if you want to see more tutorials like that, just leave a subscribe.